Well, hello you lot. It's been a while. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. First of all, want to apologise for my absence. January is a pretty dry month, not only in terms of Doctor Who news, but also just in terms of YouTube in general. So I decided to take this month relatively off, and also I'll be doing an update video outlining my plans soon, but there hasn't been an awful lot going on Doctor Who news-wise. However, today we have had our first writer confirmations for Doctor Who Series 2. Now, one of these we've actually spoken about previously, the other one leaked, but I didn't get a chance to cover it. But this is still interesting nonetheless, so feel free to subscribe if you're new, that'd be greatly appreciated. We are currently around 25,000 subscribers, maybe we could get 30 by the end of the year, that'd be great. I'm going to try and upload a bit more, but yeah, let's just get right into it. Our TARDIS team just got a bit bigger. Welcome aboard our new writers for Season 2, Juno Dawson, Inua Ellams, Pete McTeague, and Sharma Angel Wolfall. So, these four writers are going to be writing for Season 2. Now, we've got an article here that actually goes over each of them, so I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on each of them as well. The TARDIS is about to get a whole lot bigger. Four writers have stepped on board the TARDIS for the upcoming series of Doctor Who, coming in 2025, joining Russell T Davies. Russell T Davies shown says, Doctor Who takes its talent from a glittering galaxy of names, and these extraordinary writers span the skies. We've got old hands, new stars, voices from theatre, radio, and literature, the whole works. It's the most wild, exciting season of Doctor Who yet, and I can't wait to unleash their brilliant work. Meet the four writers joining Russell T Davies in Season 2. So first of all, we have Juno Dawson. Now, Juno Dawson is the one that the fans seem to be most excited about. For those of you who don't know, she was the one who wrote the Doctor Who podcast series, Doctor Who Redacted. She also hosted the first series of the Doctor Who podcast alongside Crystal D and I believe Tyrell Williams is his name. I'm hoping I'm getting that right. She also wrote a Doctor Who novel, The Good Doctor, which I haven't read, but I've heard is very, very good. So yeah, let's have a read. Juno Dawson is a #1 Sunday Times best-selling novelist, screenwriter, and journalist, whose books include the global bestsellers This Book is Gay and Her Majesty's Royal Coven. Dawson created the first visual scripted podcast, Doctor Who Redacted. Juno says, I started watching Doctor Who with my grandma when I was 10 years old in the 90s. From writing fan fiction for an audience of one to script writing the best TV show of all time, it's truly a dream come true. I can't wait for fans and newcomers to see the new season. Next up, we have Inua Ellams. So I believe this was the one who was leaked by Doctor Who Filming News, I believe. So yeah, this did sort of come out earlier, but I haven't had a chance to cover it yet. Inua Ellams is a writer and curator whose published books of poetry include Candy Coated Unicorns and Converse All-Stars and The Actual. His first play, The 14th Tale, was awarded a Fringe First at the Edinburgh International Theatre Festival, and other plays include Barbershop Chronicles, which played at the National Theatre, Three Sisters, and The Half God of Rainfall. Inua says, for as long as I can remember television, I've been a Doctor Who fan. I started watching when I was 10 in Nigeria. The show invited me to dream, to live beyond my reality. Getting to write for the show felt like touching God. It was blasphemy, humbling and exciting, and I can't wait to share my story with the world. What a beautiful sentiment. That's really nice. And then finally, we have Pete McTeague, arguably the one that you guys will be most familiar with. Pete McTeague will already be known to fans as he wrote 13th Doctor episodes Kablam and Praxeus with Chris Chibnall, and is a writer and executive producer on the forthcoming Doctor Who spin-off, The Orbiting Land of the Sea. He has created, written, or exec dramas including The Pact, BBC, The Rising at Sky, A Discovery at Witches, and Wentworth for Fox. Pete says, the TARDIS is my home away from home, so it's a joy to step back inside, with Russell at the console and the incredible team at Bad Wolf hanging on for dear life. I love the show with all my heart, and I'm really proud of what we've been able to achieve with my next episode. So I'll get into a bit of Pete McTeague later on, but finally we have Sharma Angel Wolfall. So this is who I believe I've covered before. Sharma Angel Wolfall, and I apologise if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, I probably am, but I'm doing my best. But if anyone has incorrect pronunciations, feel free to let me know. Originally hails from Manchester and won the inaugural Channel 4 New Writing Award that set her off on her screenwriting journey. She wrote an episode of Dreamland for Sky, starring Lily Allen and Freema Agyeman, oh nice, and has been in a number of writers' rooms, including Supercell, Renegade Nell, A Town Called Malice, and Noughts and Crosses. Sharma says, I am buzzing to be part of such an iconic show. I'm a massive Russell T Davies fan, so it's a dream come true to be able to work alongside him, especially on a show that I love. It's been a real privilege to be part of the family I have loved every minute. So those are your 4 writers for this season, beyond Russell himself, of course. And I have to say, I'm pretty excited. Obviously, I don't know the works too much of Inua and Sharma, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring. One of my issues with the last season, as much as I do think it was an improvement from the last couple of years, is that I do think you felt that it was written by the same 2 guys. So it's nice to see a bit of diversity when it comes to who is actually writing the show. Speaking of diversity, I have heard a lot of commentary surrounding that, and obviously a lot of people saying it's woke or whatever, but quite frankly, I don't really care who they are. I just want to see if they write good Doctor Who. I think it's cool that we're getting some new people in, and I mean, Juno Dawson in particular, I haven't read The Good Doctor yet, but she's worked on some Doctor Who stuff, and apparently it's been really, really good. The only one that I'm kind of nervous about is Pete McTeague, ironically, because I haven't been a fan of either of his 13th Doctor episodes. However, I am willing to give him a chance because he's under a new showrunner, so we'll see what he does under Russell T Davies when compared to Chris Chibnall. So according to Filming Locations, episodes 1 and 2 are RTD, and episode 3 is Sharma Wolfall, episode 4 Pete McTeague, episode 5 Inua Williams, episode 6 Juno Dawson, and then the finale is RTD. So a much more balanced series of the show than the last one. Obviously, with this time only the opening 2 and the final 2 being written by Russell. Everything else is new people, or at least not him. And look, I love Russell, but I think you can tell that with the last series, he was wearing himself a bit thin, to coin a phrase. So I think having, a more kind of varied pool of writers to kind of pick up the slack there is really going to help. Obviously, it's difficult to know what season 2 is going to be like based on just this and some trailers. However, I do have to say that whilst obviously they haven't been able to directly address the criticisms of the first series, it does feel to me that season 2 does kind of feel like an answer to season 1 in some ways. And recently, Harbo Worms did a great video talking about this as well, but everything in the trailer is a bit more sci-fi, a little bit darker as well, which is something I really want. You instantly see some more conflict between the Doctor and Verada. Another big issue people had was obviously getting new writers on board, which we now have. So I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic for season 2. This is coming from someone who liked season 1 overall. I still don't think it's perfect, not by a long shot. I think it's got its issues, but I do think it was a step in the right direction. So if this can be another step beyond that, I think that would be really good. I think it's important to note with Doctor Who that sometimes it takes a Doctor a while to really bed in and get great stuff. I think Capaldi's greatest series is his final one, Series 10, and I think that David Tennant would be a lot less fondly remembered if the only series we had to work with is Series 2. Series 2 is by far Russell's weakest in RTD1, and Series 3, on the other hand, is really, really strong. I still like elements of Series 2, but you know what I mean. Series 3, in my opinion, is the stronger one. Series 4, even stronger than that. So, given that now we've had a bed-in period where these guys can really get to grips with the show, I'm cautiously optimistic for season 2. I did touch on this earlier, but I do actually think it's really cool that we're actually getting some black writers to write for Ncuti, because obviously that was a big criticism people had of Dot and Bubble, is if you're going to do a racism storyline, feels like you need to have some black writers on board, which we now have, so that's good. And we've also got our first trans writer in Juno Dawson as well, which, I'm always happy to see. But again, the important thing to me is just, in the episode they write good. And I really can't be asked to deal with people saying, oh, it's woke, blah, 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 blah. My concern is it good? And with season 1, obviously, you may disagree. There were some episodes I thought were really, really good. Boom, 73 yards, Dot and Bubble. I think that trilogy is really solid. I think, Space Babies, the finale, not good, unfortunately. Rogue is decent, and I enjoy Devil's Court as well. So that's my thoughts on season 1. And going into season 2, it looks like a lot of the issues that I had in terms of tone, in terms of lack of sci-fi, in terms of new writers, are kind of being addressed by season 2. But of course, we've only seen promotional material, and time will tell. But I guess being optimistic just makes me an engagement bot for Badwell Studios. But whatever your thoughts are, drop them down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks so much for being patient. I'll be honest, I've been in a bit of a mental health slump, but I'm back. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.